They dismissed me, severing my connection with the institution I had devoted my heart and soul to, solely because I dared to take a stand for a defenseless child against a group of unrelenting bullies. This shocking act of retribution not only felt deeply unjust, but also ignited a series of events that would compel the entire school to confront a crucial and transformative lesson in ethics and integrity. Emma, a teacher whose dedication and empathy were unparalleled, found herself engulfed in a maelstrom of turmoil when she witnessed the relentless and brutal bullying that Dean, a shy and vulnerable student at Greenland High School, was forced to endure. Her heart, filled with an unwavering resolve to protect Dean from the unmitigated cruelty he faced daily, urged her to act decisively. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Emma's courageous, albeit controversial, choice to confront the tormentors head-on resulted in her abrupt and disheartening dismissal from her beloved position. However, fate had an unexpected and dramatic twist in store. A mysterious and influential letter from a high-ranking authority was on the cusp of altering the course of events and bringing about a significant and profound change. This letter was not merely a piece of correspondence, but a beacon of hope that would challenge the very fabric of the school's policies and ethical standards. The unfolding drama was set against the backdrop of a school that had long prided itself on academic excellence and a reputation for nurturing young minds. Yet, beneath this facade of educational prowess, a hidden undercurrent of intolerance and negligence toward bullying had persisted. Emma's bold intervention was about to force a reckoning with these buried truths, prompting a reevaluation of what it truly meant to foster a safe and supportive environment for students. Today, I am beyond thrilled to share with you a story that is both heart-wrenching and inspiring, a narrative that promises to deeply touch your hearts and stir your souls. Together, let us embark on this compelling journey as we unravel a tale of courage, justice, and unexpected twists that reveal the profound impact of standing up for what is right. Prepare to be moved and inspired as we delve into this extraordinary journey of resilience and transformation. Greenland High School, long celebrated as a paragon of academic excellence and a nurturing sanctuary for students striving toward a brighter future, stands as one of the most esteemed educational institutions in the city of Greenland. Its illustrious history and enduring tradition of fostering young minds have solidified its reputation as a beacon of knowledge and personal growth. Despite its rich heritage, dating back to the very origins of Greenland itself, the school consistently upholds its esteemed status among the top 5 high schools in the city. It's no surprise that parents who once walked these hallowed halls are fervently eager to enroll their own children, yearning to bestow upon them the same enriching experiences and opportunities that once shaped their own lives. Emma, a teacher whose passion and dedication knew no bounds, invested her heart and soul into her role at Greenland High. Her profound love for her students and her steadfast commitment to their well-being were palpable in every interaction. Having grown up in Greenland and navigated the same corridors as a student, Emma carried an innate understanding of the school's culture and ethos. She began her teaching career at Greenland High in her mid-20s, driven by an earnest desire to make a meaningful difference. However, after 2 years of devoted service, Emma was confronted with a harsh reality that had long simmered beneath the institution's polished exterior: the insidious and destructive force of bullying. Her awakening was more than a personal realization. It became a clarion call for action, demanding that the school confront and eradicate this pervasive issue once and for all. Emma's discovery of the bullying crisis within the school was nothing short of a profound revelation. What she saw was a troubling pattern of abuse and intimidation that had been allowed to fester unchecked. This harsh reality contrasted sharply with the school's celebrated image, revealing a hidden undercurrent of negligence and disregard for the emotional and psychological safety of its students. Emma's sense of duty and moral compass compelled her to address this injustice, leading her to take a stand against the pervasive culture of bullying that had been silently tolerated. Her courageous decision to intervene was driven by a deeply personal connection to the issue. Emma had once been a victim of bullying herself, experiencing the pain and isolation that came with being targeted by her peers. Her own traumatic experiences had left a lasting imprint on her, shaping her understanding of the profound impact bullying could have on a young person's life. This personal history fueled her determination to protect her students from enduring similar suffering. Emma's actions were not without controversy. Her decision to confront the bullies directly and report the issue to the school administration was met with resistance and misunderstanding. The system, deeply entrenched in its ways, struggled to reconcile Emma's passionate intervention with its established protocols. Despite her genuine intention to foster a safe and supportive environment, Emma found herself caught in a web of bureaucratic constraints and institutional inertia. Her dedication to her students' welfare came at a great personal cost, highlighting the complex interplay between individual courage and institutional resistance. This saga of bravery and systemic challenge underscores the broader issue of how institutions often grapple with internal problems while maintaining a facade of perfection. Emma's story is a poignant reminder of the need for vigilance and reform in addressing the hidden struggles within educational environments. Her commitment to confronting the painful truths of bullying and advocating for meaningful change serves as a testament to the profound impact one individual can have in the pursuit of justice and compassion. As a child and adolescent, Emma was characterized by her extreme shyness and overwhelming timidity. She lived a life marked by solitude, with only a handful of friends, which made her an easy target for the cruel torment of her classmates. Emma's school years were marred by persistent and various forms of bullying, inflicted upon her by a group of relentless girls. Her tormentors seemed to find endless amusement in their cruelty, targeting her in classrooms, hallways, and even restrooms. The humiliation and distress Emma faced became a routine part of her school experience. The fear of facing these bullies made Emma dread attending school each day. Despite her repeated pleas for help and her reports to teachers and school officials, the response was always disappointingly inadequate. Each time Emma sought intervention, the bullies were merely given warnings would only serve to escalate their harassment. The school's failure to address the issue or take meaningful action left Emma feeling abandoned and powerless, deepening her sense of isolation and despair. Years of enduring such abuse took a significant toll on Emma's self-esteem. She lived in a constant state of anxiety and fear, unable to escape the shadows of her traumatic experiences. It wasn't until she reached a breaking point that Emma found the courage to stand up for herself, confronting the bullies who had caused her so much pain. However, this newfound bravery also brought with it the painful realization that the cycle of bullying persisted, with the school continuing to ignore the suffering of its students. Emma's frustration and anger grew as she saw that the institution remained indifferent to the plight of those being bullied. Amidst this ongoing crisis, Emma became acutely aware of another victim of bullying, Dean. Dean, a 12-year-old boy, mirrored Emma's past vulnerabilities with his own shyness and timidity. Emma often observed Dean being targeted by older boys during various times of the day, including lunch breaks, after school, and even during lessons. The stark difference between Emma and Dean was that, unlike Emma, Dean chose not to report the bullying. The tormentors had managed to instill such fear in him that he remained silent, suffering in isolation, much as Emma had once done. Initially, when Emma first noticed the troubling and persistent bullying directed at Dean, she approached him with a blend of compassion and cautious probing, hoping to uncover the truth about his dire situation. Despite her genuine attempts to encourage him to open up about his suffering, Dean stubbornly denied any mistreatment. He insisted that the older kids were simply messing around with him and suggested that Emma had misinterpreted their interactions. Although Dean's denial was wrapped in a facade of believability, it did little to alleviate Emma's growing unease. She could see through the veneer of his words, perceiving the underlying fear and desperation that drove him to shield the harsh reality of his experience. Resolute in her determination to make a meaningful difference, Emma vowed to remain vigilant and keep a watchful eye on Dean. She understood that the truth, however elusive, would eventually reveal itself. Her patience and commitment were put to the ultimate test after several weeks of closely observing Dean's interactions. The breakthrough came during what should have been a peaceful lunch break, a time often associated with relaxation and camaraderie. Emma was in her classroom, diligently organizing and grading the pile of tests that her students had recently submitted. The usual tranquility of the classroom was abruptly shattered when Emma's gaze wandered toward the window. There, through the glass, she witnessed a heart-wrenching scene that was nothing short of devastating. Outside on the school field, 3 older boys were engaged in a relentless and merciless assault on Dean. Their taunts and jeers, sharp and unrelenting, painted a vivid picture of cruelty that left Emma's heart aching. The sight was a poignant and distressing confirmation of her worst fears. Dean, with his shoulders hunched and his face etched with a mixture of fear and resignation, was clearly suffering under the weight of their aggression. The disparity between the carefree school environment and the brutality taking place just beyond the window highlighted the profound and troubling gap between the school's outward appearance and the grim reality faced by some of its students. Determined to confront this egregious injustice, Emma did not hesitate. She swiftly exited her classroom and made her way to the scene of the torment, her heart pounding with a mix of urgency and righteous indignation. As she approached the group of bullies, she summoned every ounce of courage she possessed to challenge their behavior. "Hey, what on earth do you think you're doing?" Emma's voice rang out with a mix of authority and concern as she neared the boys. One of the older boys, caught off guard, responded with a dismissive tone, "Oh, nothing, Miss Emma. We're just having a bit of fun with him." "No, you're not just playing around," Emma retorted firmly. "You're bullying Dean, and this is something that the school authorities need to know about immediately." Dean, sensing that his attempt to deflect had failed, tried to defend the bullies. "No, Miss Emma, it's not like that. We were just messing around." "Dean," Emma said, her voice softening but remaining resolute, "I know that these boys have been tormenting you. I've known for a long time. Defending them only empowers them further, and trust me, that's not what you want. I've walked in your shoes before. And I can tell you with certainty that the only way to stop this is to confront it head-on and do what's right." With a mix of empathy and determination, Emma extended a hand to Dean, asking him to accompany her to the principal's office. Despite his visible apprehension, Dean complied, and together they walked through the halls of Greenland High School, heading towards a crucial confrontation that would test the very integrity of the institution. Emma's unwavering commitment to justice and her courageous stand against the bullying crisis were poised to set in motion a series of events that would reverberate through the school community, challenging its values and prompting a profound reckoning with its approach to student welfare. Without a second thought, Emma abandoned her tasks and rushed outside, driven by a fierce sense of justice and compassion. Her footsteps were swift and purposeful as she crossed the school field, and her voice cut through the air with a commanding urgency. "Hey, what on earth do you think you're doing?" she demanded, her tone filled with authority and concern as she approached the group of boys. One of the older boys, attempting to deflect responsibility, offered a nonchalant response. "Oh, nothing, Miss Emma. We're just having a bit of fun with him," he said with a dismissive shrug. Emma's eyes narrowed with a steely resolve as she refuted their excuse. "No, you're not merely having fun. You're engaging in bullying, and this behavior will not be tolerated. I will be reporting this to the school authorities immediately, and there will be consequences for your actions." Dean, caught in the crossfire, hastened to defend his aggressors with visible anxiety. "No, Miss Emma, "You've got it all wrong. We were just playing around," he stammered, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and confusion. Emma's heart ached for Dean, recognizing the immense pressure he was under to protect his tormentors. Her expression softened, though her resolve remained unwavering. "Dean, I've been aware of the bullying for some time now. I understand that you're scared and trying to shield yourself from further pain, but defending these bullies only gives them more power and prolongs your suffering. I've been through this myself, right here in this very school, and I can tell you from experience that the cycle of bullying will never end unless you stand up and confront it. You have the strength within you to make a change, and you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. I promise you, taking this step is the right thing to do, and it will pave the way for a better, safer environment for yourself and others who may be suffering in silence." Emma's words, laden with empathy and determination, were meant to empower Dean and inspire him to find the courage to address his tormentors and seek the support he needed. "Now, will you come with me so we can do the right thing?" Emma asked, her voice tinged with urgency and compassion. Dean, initially hesitant but driven by a growing sense of resolve, nodded in agreement and walked with Emma without hesitation. Guided by a sense of righteous determination, Emma followed Dean away from the bullies and towards the principal's office. The journey to the principal's office was filled with a mix of trepidation and hope, each step a testament to Emma's unwavering commitment to seeking justice for Dean. Upon arriving at the principal's office, Emma and Dean recounted the harrowing details of the bullying incident. The principal listened attentively, but soon delivered a response that reflected the school's rigid adherence to protocol. "You know the rules and regulations, Miss Emma. You weren't supposed to intervene directly," the principal stated, his tone authoritative but not unkind. Emma met his gaze with steadfast resolve. "I understand the rules, but I couldn't stand idly by. This boy has been suffering constant harassment, and turning a blind eye would have been morally unacceptable," she explained, her voice firm with conviction. The principal's expression softened slightly, acknowledging Emma's concern. "I understand your position, Emma. We will conduct a thorough investigation into the matter," he assured her. "You may return to your classroom now," he added, his tone indicating that the matter would be handled with due process. Feeling a mix of relief and satisfaction, Emma returned to her class, buoyed by the knowledge that she had taken a stand and done what she felt was right. She wished fervently that there had been a teacher like herself during her own school years, someone who prioritized the welfare of students over bureaucratic constraints. However, when Emma arrived at school the following day, she was met with an unexpected turn of events. As she settled into her classroom, anticipating positive news or perhaps a follow-up from the principal or dean, she was called to the principal's office once again. A knot of apprehension tightened in her stomach as she walked down the hallway, a gnawing sense of unease growing with each step. Upon entering the principal's office, Emma immediately noticed the somber expression on the principal's face. His demeanor was grave, and she could tell that the news she was about to receive would not be favorable. "I'm sorry, Miss Emma," the principal began, his voice heavy with formality and regret. "We have to let you go." The words hit Emma like a jolt, the shock and disbelief palpable as she struggled to process the unexpected and disheartening news. "I don't understand," Emma said, her voice trembling with shock and disbelief. "Why would you do this to me?" The reality of the situation seemed almost surreal. She had devoted herself to protecting a student, only to find herself dismissed rather than receiving support or acknowledgement from the school. The principal's face remained impassive as he responded, "You violated the school's rules by intervening directly in a situation that you were not authorized to handle. This decision was made to uphold the institution's policies." But Emma began to argue, but the weight of the principal's stern expression silenced her. "I'm sorry, Miss Emma, but this is our final decision. Thank you for your service," the principal said, his tone final and dismissive. The coldness of his words left Emma reeling, struggling to grasp the gravity of her dismissal. With a heavy heart, Emma left the principal's office and made her way back to her classroom. Her mind was a whirlpool of emotions, confusion, anger, and sorrow as she packed her belongings. Each item she placed into her bag felt like a symbol of her commitment and passion, now seemingly discarded in the face of institutional rigidity. As Emma exited Greenland High School that morning, word of her unexpected dismissal spread through the halls like wildfire. Teachers and students alike buzzed with gossip, their conversations laced with shock and curiosity. Emma's actions and subsequent firing became the subject of widespread discussion, with many grappling with the implications of her courageous stand against bullying. For Dean, the news of Emma's firing was a crushing blow. The realization that his suffering had led to the dismissal of the teacher who had tried to help him weighed heavily on his young shoulders. Overwhelmed with guilt and remorse, Dean struggled with his emotions, feeling responsible for the unjust consequences that had befallen Emma. That evening, when Dean returned home, his parents immediately noticed a profound shift in his demeanor. He was unusually quiet, his once lively spirit replaced with a somber sadness that lingered over the next few days. His parents grew increasingly concerned about his well-being, their attempts to reach out and understand his mood met with evasive responses. Finally, one evening, Dean broke his silence. He shared with his parents the full story of the bullying he had endured and the events that led to Emma's dismissal. His parents listened in stunned silence as Dean recounted how the only teacher who had shown him compassion and fought for him had been unjustly removed from her position. The revelation ignited a storm of emotions in Dean's parents' outrage, frustration, and deep sorrow. They were furious not only at the school's decision but also at the systemic failure that allowed such injustices to occur. Dean's father, a highly influential figure in Greenland, was deeply troubled by the injustice done to Emma. His significant contributions to Greenland High School were well known, and his support had been instrumental in funding various school initiatives. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, he decided to take action. The following day, Dean's father composed a powerful letter addressed to the school administration, demanding Emma's reinstatement. In his letter, he highlighted not only Emma's dedication and integrity, but also the school's obligation to rectify the wrong done to her. The school administration, acutely aware of Dean's father's substantial financial contributions and the potential impact on future donations, convened an urgent meeting to reassess their decision. They understood that failing to address his concerns could jeopardize their funding and public standing. After a series of intense discussions and careful reconsideration of the circumstances, the school resolved to reverse their decision and reinstate Emma. They swiftly contacted Emma to inform her of the reinstatement, hoping to mend the breach and restore some semblance of justice. Upon receiving the news of her reinstatement, Emma was overwhelmed with a profound sense of relief and elation. The thought of returning to her classroom and continuing her work with her students filled her with immense joy. When Emma walked back into the school the next day, the atmosphere was abuzz with excitement and positivity. Students and teachers alike celebrated her return, their faces lighting up with smiles and cheers. Dean and several of Emma's students organized a heartfelt welcome, transforming her classroom with vibrant decorations and a celebratory theme to honor her return. A couple of days after Emma resumed her duties at Greenland High School, Dean's parents extended a warm invitation for her to visit their home. Their gratitude for Emma's bravery and the sacrifices she had made was profound. During her visit, Dean's parents expressed their heartfelt thanks, acknowledging the personal and professional toll the situation had taken on Emma. As a gesture of their appreciation, they presented her with a generous monetary gift. Emma was deeply moved by their kindness and expressed her sincere gratitude for their support, which had not only helped her regain her position, but also reaffirmed her belief in the power of standing up for what is right. The experience had been challenging, but it reinforced the importance of empathy, courage, and the impact one person's actions could have on an entire community. Emma's return to Greenland High School was not just a personal victory, but a testament to the values of integrity and perseverance. After the dramatic events involving Emma and Dean, Greenland High School undertook a profound transformation in its approach to student welfare. The administration, now acutely aware of the detrimental effects of bullying, implemented stringent measures to address and prevent such behavior. They instituted a comprehensive anti-bullying program, introduced rigorous disciplinary actions for offenders, and fostered an environment of vigilance and support. The result was a significant and heartening decline in bullying incidents, a testament to the positive changes inspired by Emma's courageous intervention. Emma's relationship with Dean blossomed into a lasting bond that extended beyond his high school years. To Dean, Emma was more than just a teacher. She was a beacon of hope and a source of unwavering support. Her actions had not only helped him overcome his fears, but had also profoundly impacted his self-esteem, leaving him with an enduring sense of gratitude. Dean's story resonated deeply with other students facing similar struggles. His experience became a powerful symbol of resilience and hope, encouraging many to speak up and seek help. The once prevalent culture of silence surrounding bullying began to dissolve, replaced by a newfound sense of solidarity and community. Emma's reinstatement and subsequent influence at Greenland High School were celebrated as a victory for both justice and compassion. Her willingness to sacrifice her position for the well-being of her student underscored the true essence of education: to cultivate a nurturing and protective environment for young minds. The school, inspired by Emma's example, embraced its role not just as an academic institution but as a haven for personal growth and emotional support. The legacy of Emma's actions and Dean's story left an indelible mark on the school community, reinforcing the importance of standing up for what is right and the power of collective empathy. Greenland High School continued to thrive as a place where students were encouraged to grow academically and personally, fostering an environment where every individual felt valued and supported. As we wrap up today's exploration, I hope you found valuable insights into the themes we've discussed, from personal growth and family dynamics to the impact of our choices and the lessons life has to offer. What resonated with you the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share one thing you've learned today and how you plan to bring it into your life in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you more meaningful content. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing your reflections and connecting with you in the comments.